Hey my little angels, and welcome back to another video, you guys. Here is part 2 of the wizard event. We went over the details of this event in part 1. I'll link that video below, so do watch it before you watch this one to avoid any confusion. Anyhow, we will pick up on tips and tricks and how you can finish your whole calendar even now while we are still at milestone number 2. The cement and brooms, which require a player to high-five another player with the right items, will be much easier to do without the help of a sham after we complete milestone 2, I believe. So in this video, I'll be showing you a couple of different workarounds to be able to do it right here, right now. The event is coming every 26 minutes yesterday and today, so it is painfully slow to complete the event for us grinders. We already covered getting wood and water and their prizes in the last video. In this part, we will now have Caesar as an NPC, so you can now trade your tickets for the wizard chest and shells for the new pet or the wallpaper, which is priced seriously high. I have seen people using the pets, so I'm assuming that these new inventory items do work now. Last video I already showed you how they looked in HD quality. To complete the second milestone, all TFM players need to gather a total of 200,000 wood and 40,000 stones, which I don't see happening anytime soon, till all the grinders complete their calendars at the very least. There are 2 new spawn points now, which are located to the right of the bridge, under the new milestone location. Doing more did not do anything, but now there's no bottom to the water on the right, so you can die if you go too far down, and sometimes lag also ends up pulling you down, especially if you are a sham, so do be careful. And unlike what Wiki mentioned, you are not revived if you die on the map. In part 1, if you touched the water, you are not able to go back to get any items at all, but now in the castle, even when I touch the water with an item, I can go back to pick up an item again. Once you have picked up an item, you cannot go back and pick up another item if you're eventing in a racing room, as far as I've noticed. I'm not sure if this is a bug though. While in a vanilla room, you're able to go back and pick up more, in the big rooms anyhow, even Survivor. You can tell if you will be able to pick up another item from that spot because you will still see the item overlying the background design of the event map, even after you have picked up an item. If it will not allow you to pick up another item from that location, that overlying image of the item in that spot will vanish. I have also noticed it reappear when I've picked up a stone, then saw the overlying item image disappear, but by the time I was back, or after I also deposited an ore as well, the iron I mean, that stone item image reappeared on that location, indicating that I can go and pick up another stone. I avoid racing rooms, unless it's a private room, where we are grinding the event, because I've seen many racing players just AFK if they sham or leave the room, which knocks the time down to 20 seconds for all players on that event map immediately. You can collect 2 to 3 iron or stones even in one event map round. I was able to get 3 stones in a round but only 2 iron in a round personally, although I've seen a very rare few who just made it to 3 iron at the very last second. The prize for getting 20 stones is 15 tickets and the purple diamond necklace item in shop, while the prize for getting 30 iron is the sham orb and 15 tickets. Since stones are a part of the second milestone, so is wood, you can randomly get consumables with shells and all, like it was with wood and water in milestone 1, and I even got 1 ticket once when depositing a stone as well. Alright, now the question I've been asked countless times: how do you get the cement and brooms? First of all, the prize for completing 20 cement is 15 tickets and a badge, while the prize for completing 10 brooms is 15 tickets and this nerdy emoji, which I'm so glad is finally here. We are assuming that the Alchemist title will be awarded once all milestones have been reached, and it will be given to all players who helped with the milestones, probably by the player showing up on an event map once the last milestone shows up as completed. I will have a video part 3, which will more serve as just a visual keepsake with video clips of hitting each milestone and how it looks like, plus the final title. Honestly, I don't hold high hopes of us completing milestones if this is the pace we are at now after all grinders have finished and the first weekend is almost over. Now on to the tips and tricks of getting your cement and brooms. I would say to stick to a small room of 4 mice. My friend's event grinding group did it with 2 active mice and asked 2 of their friends who weren't playing the game at that time to just AFK there. Initially, I started the day by grinding the cement and brooms since you need 2 players to cooperate for it, but then if you're unable to high-five again or there is a lack of cooperation, then at least you can go do a solo round before time ends and get that stone or iron instead. We did cement first since it seemed easier to get 2 per round without needing to use a totem. But honestly, the totem I'll show later can work for cement or brooms, and you can even have multiple pairs of people in a room then, or just have like a really big room. But you'd want to be sham though. First of all, you should decide your pairs. Half your room should go get 1 item to the left, and the other half of the pairs should get 1 item on the right. Right now I'm just talking in terms of a 4 mice room that you've created privately. Here's the list of items that can be created depending on what items you both carry when high-fiving. So for cement, the people running to the left will get water and the ones running to the right will get stone first. To make it easier, we use a private racing room because you can ensure who the sham will be. I was a sham, but when I had to record these video clips, I was a bit more laggy, so it was hard for me to get us 2 cement each round. So then we had someone else take over as a sham and it went smoothly. The sham plus 1 player went to the right, cannoned us from the spawn site to get those extra seconds, got the water, then headed back to where the bridge ends and has the sham balloon us up, wait a bit, and then invisible cannon us over to the right. Do not cannon too soon, else the balloon and player will spin, and if bugged or too low, even in the air it can deposit your resource by being too close to the milestone area. Then once you have touched the far right wall of the castle, you can jump down and high-five the other player. After it turns into cement, you can walk to your left to just about that last rock, aka the third most little rock area of this section to deposit the item. Then, since we are on a racing map, TFM will not let us pick up more water, so we swap sides and the sham with that 1 player will go right and get the stone this time. Once reaching the edge of the castle, do not go close to that rightmost third rock, which is where the item would deposit instead. Let the sham balloon you both up, then invisible cannon you both left, only once the balloon height reaches close to that upper floor marker where the flower plant location could be. This is to avoid depositing the item while you fly through the air. The other mice meanwhile will have collected the water and ran to the end of the bridge waiting to high-five the sham and other player who got the stone. Also, the invisible cannon is to prevent the other players being cannoned away who are waiting to high-five you. If you are in a big room where the sham is not able to help you with balloons, a totem, or a bridge, spawning an inventory trampoline works only after 1 minute passes, but you would need to jump really high to make it over, so I'm not positive if it is enough time to do it once, but feel free to try and let me know. Spawning trampolines will not work in racing and Defalante rooms since these don't have sham nor sham objects. Okay, now onto the brooms. I knew there was no way to make it in time to get 2 brooms if we tried the same tactic. You can do it once, but there's no time for the second. To do it once, the shaman and 1 player will go to the left side and wait on the bridge so the sham can balloon you up and attach a big box to speed up the flight. Once you both reach the top and get the log, 1 or 3 set, doesn't really matter. At the edge of that land, the sham will cannon you both on the middle of your rat's backs, and hopefully is done properly enough to yeet you over the milestone area and directly into the right wall where you will drop down and high-five your partner. If one of you carries a 3-set item, your items will convert into a 3-set, like the brooms do. But as with part 1, the 3-set only counts for milestones and not for a player's calendar. Now it will take too long to switch and have the other mice climb all the way to the wood while you get the flower, but this is a method to do once. Instead, I would use this OP totem which took me many trials to create. I harped on everyone remaking the totem I did. If it was a little bit too short, because in all my trial and errors, even if it's so close, that slight difference would result in falling in the air too close to the milestone area and it taking your resources before you could high-five anyone. Sometimes it might have been a little bit glitched and took it away even earlier, so just be safe. Here's a template to make it. You will need to put a last plank angled slightly upwards, which disappears once you have placed it on the totem map, since it is out of the editor's range, but it will show up when you spawn it. Don't forget to add a yellow nail to it afterwards. Shaman skills do not work on the maps, so you cannot use those really long purple planks in the totems. I'm talking about those planks which can be obtained by getting that skill. Here's how it was made and the way it bugs for everyone. Only the shaman can see their totem properly, but all the other players cannot see them. So you can see how it looks here. Anyhow, if you don't have a totem and are in normal mode, you can always just build a curved B-nailed, aka red nail plank bridge from the bridge arching over the progress bar milestone area into the edge of the castle. This could possibly allow either side to be able to walk over and high-five, but would take the shaman a while to build. With such totems as mine, it can even work in big rooms as long as you find someone to high-five with ahead of time and make a plan for that. These custom-built totems are so OP to me because you can easily get 2 cement or 2 brooms, even if you're a sham. All you need is a player to pair up with who understands how to do this. You can always point them to watch this video so they understand what to do and how to do it. I think that's about it for the tips and tricks for this milestone. Once we complete this milestone, I think the location will change to another location, unlocking an extra level above us where we currently spawn. So then players can easily walk across the spawn area and the bridge area to high-five each other. By that time, my other tip to you will probably be to just keep walking over in the direction of the other player you decide to high-five with. So if one person's slower at getting an item than the other, there's less time lost trying to walk all the way across to meet the other player. Leave any questions or comments or tips below. Good luck to you all and have fun. QTAngel out, as always. Peace.